Welcome to the Lead and Activity Management Overview. We are going to review the process from the perspective of the sales organization, looking at how the lead status changes according to the sales activity that gets recorded. And then we're also going to look at it from a marketing organization, the marketing status, and see how the sales activity recorded that you record affects that. And this is really progression of the leads through the funnel and funnel management and keeping track of that. We're going to do that using this flowchart. Along the top, you can see in blue the marketing statuses. So, a suspected prospect, an actual prospect, somebody that we've qualified from a marketing perspective, something that's been accepted by sales, and then something that's been qualified and ultimately converted by sales. In red is the entry and exit point, so not attempted. Is how all leads come into the system through lead assignment. They can either leave as a converted lead or they are disqualified for a valid reason. The diamonds represent decision points. In green is the activities, tasks and events. In orange here is the lead statuses. So let's go through some scenarios. So a lead comes in, and the first thing we have to do is identify if it's valid data. So sometimes it's junk data, that does happen, and or invalid data. And so if that's the case, we'd simply log an activity that said this was invalid data, disqualified invalid data, and automatically the lead status would be updated to disqualified. But let's say we could identify this person. We start making some calls, send some emails. The lead status is automatically going to change to attempted on the back of logging those activities. One of those activities results in a conversation. Then the lead status, when you log an activity disposition that begins with interested or even not interested, in both cases we had a conversation, so the lead status changes to contacted. And when we speak to that person, one of a few things can happen. The first is that they say, I'm not interested, and they give us a valid reason. And the two valid reasons would be they're not the right person. They could never be an influencer, buyer, or decision maker around our products and services individually. And the second is that their company would never be a buyer of our products and services, and they give us a valid reason. Wrong industry, just got acquired, don't operate in the regions that we support, whatever that happens to be. In that case, we would select an activity disposition that would be incorrect contact or incorrect company, and the lead status would automatically be adjusted to disqualified. You notice, though, as we contacted them, we update the marketing status to a prospect because we have identified this person. So let's say, and this is common, let's say that they express the fact they're not interested, and they don't give us any referral to somebody who they think may be. I mean, frequently you'll speak to people who are the right persona. They do have the right persona for your products and services, but they just express no interest. So we just leave that person as in a contacted status, and we schedule a follow-up task in the future, 3 months or so out. In the case where they express no interest, they may give us a referral. And so we could check if that person, the referral, already exists in the system. If they don't, we can create a lead and put them as a not attempted status, and they will follow exactly the same process as we're going through now. But let's be more positive. Let's say that we do speak to the person and they do express interest. One of the things we're going to try and do is schedule a meeting. And you notice as soon as they expressed interest, we move them to a marketing qualified lead status. So we're progressing through the funnel. So we ask for a meeting. They say no, they're not ready yet. So we schedule a follow-up task, an appropriate time when we think they may be more interested. We leave them in a contacted status, and we just go through the same again. So we re-gauge their interest, and we try and schedule a meeting. So let's say that happens. We schedule a meeting. and they agree to meet, and then we get to the day of the meeting, and one or two things can happen. They show up or they don't. If they don't show up, we simply set a follow-up task. We leave them in a contacted status, and we re-gauge their interest. We schedule a meeting, and then we go through the process of attending that meeting, and hopefully this time they actually show up and we can complete the meeting. If they can complete the meeting, there's really three outcomes. The first and most desirable is there's a new opportunity, and the salesperson converts and creates a new opportunity. Could be a new account, could be against an existing account. The second scenario is that it's not a new opportunity, but we do identify an additional contact to an existing opportunity, or just an additional contact that we want to convert and follow up and attach to an account and follow up with. The third scenario is that, and obviously this does happen, is that the meeting completes and the salesperson determines there's no opportunity, this isn't a person of interest, but the contact does refer us to somebody else. So we go all the way back to the beginning. We create a lead and see if that lead exists in the system already. And if not, we create a lead and we set them as a not attempted status. Obviously, the other thing that can happen is that we meet, and for whatever reason, maybe it's technical, maybe it's commercial, maybe it's political, there's just not a fit. They give us a valid reason, and we disqualify the lead at that point. So that concludes the walkthrough here, and you'll notice that that really covers pretty much all of the scenarios that you're going to come across when you're prospecting and following up with folks. So hopefully that was useful, and appreciate you attending. Take care.